Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be sharing with you some new palettes that I purchased here recently. This is solely going to be focused on those palettes. I did do my foundation, my eyebrows, my primer, all that good stuff, and that will be listed down below. But yeah, like I said, it's going to be focused on these palettes that I had recently purchased, and I came up with this look, which is like a spring summer look. Before we get into that, if you're new here, please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you here. I try to put out as much content as I can, 1 to 2 videos a week. Sometimes it's 3, but I always try to put out as much as I can. If you're into beauty, if you're into an occasional vlog, or even into other things like skincare, body care, all that good stuff, then hit that subscribe button, because this is the channel that's going to give that to you. And if you really want to see my videos, then hit that notification bell so you'll know when I put out a video. So let's go ahead and get into trying these new palettes. So I'm really excited to get into this video because these are some palettes that I've been wanting to use. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so as you can see, I did fill in my eyebrows. I also put on my foundation. I haven't done my concealer or my Tarte Shape Tape just yet, but I will get into that when I start putting the products on my face. First, we're gonna start with eyes. We're gonna start with the Gemini II Palette. So one of my subscribers had asked if I would do like a spring look using this palette. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to attempt a spring/summer look for you guys today. And the reason I say attempt is because a lot of these shadows in the palette are very like deep, but I think we can work with some of the lighter shades and maybe even some of the deeper shades, like just to add like that hint of color. So we're gonna go ahead and get started today with an eye look. I've already primed my eyes with the Sephora Eye Primer. I've been loving that. It dries really nicely on the eyes. It doesn't crease, and it's been holding my shadows really well. I wanna go ahead and start with Ladylike right here, and we're gonna go ahead and put Ladylike right in the crease. And I did not go in too heavy with my brush. I'm tapping off the excess. This is a pretty shade. This palette is so beautiful. It is probably one of my favorites that I've gotten from the Melt Cosmetics line. I feel like this palette could be used really for all 4 seasons. So that's what the Ladylike product looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some to the other eye. If you're wondering what type of foundation I have on, it's the Valentino Foundation. Guys, I have gone to Sephora like 2 or 3 times trying to find my shade. I know in my last video I said that I found the right shade. Well, I had been out in the sun since then because most of my work is like outside. So I had been out in the sun, and so when I went to put that foundation on, it was like super like light on me. So I ended up having to go back and get another shade, and I have it on today, and I think this shade is perfect. So I will list that shade down below for you guys if you're interested. I'm gonna go in with this one right here. It's called Sweetheart, and I'm gonna put a little bit of Sweetheart just right here. Just a little bit. So now I'm gonna go into this shade right here called Almond Eyes. It's like a kind of like a army green shade. I'm just gonna put that on the outer corner. I'm just using a little bit of product, just adding like that pop of green to the outer corner. These shades are working so well. Not only that, they're super pigmented and so easy to blend. They're so like super buttery. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here called Bella, and that one's gonna go all over the lid. Just tapping that into the lid. And I'm bringing it a little bit into that green. I really don't see like any fallout, which is nice. I'm gonna take the brush that I put the green on, and I'm just going to blend everything just very gently, kind of mesh it into that pink shade or that peach shade. And then I'm gonna take the brush that I started with, and I'm just going to run that over the edges just to blend everything out. I'm gonna go ahead and add the Power Flex concealer. This is a new shade. I will list it right here, but I do love this concealer. It's really pretty. It just kind of moves with your under eyes. And then I'm just gonna use a brush to blend that in. Now I'm gonna go in with my Tarte Shape Tape, just a little bit. I don't need much. I'm gonna go ahead and set my face with my Givenchy powders. Alright guys, for face today I have two Sephora Pro palettes. So I'm actually going to be using both of them. I have a light and I also have a deep. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the light palette first because I want to try the bronzer shades in this palette. There's 4 bronzer shades. This one and this one are going to be way too light for me. I'm going to end up going with this one, maybe this one, but this one looks like it would be a little bit ashy. So let me try Muse, which Muse is very light. I don't know if Muse is gonna work. These bronzers may not work at all for me, so we're gonna try Muse. It's the lighter one. Yeah, it's way light. You can't even tell. Yeah, I don't think that one's gonna work. Yeah, they're all really, really light, unfortunately. So let me go into the deep palette, and this is the deep palette. I think the deep palette has better shades for me. We're gonna go in with this shade right here called Jet Setter. Yeah, that shows better. It's a little bit splotchy. Yeah, it looks a little splotchy. I'm trying to blend it to where it doesn't look like that. The shade's nice, but let me blend a little bit more. I don't know if you guys can tell, but to me it doesn't look right. And I know it's not the powder or the foundation because I've used Valentino foundation before. I've also used this powder like crazy, so I know it's not that. Yeah, I'm not liking that. I'm gonna get some powder and kind of just powder around that area because I want to smooth it out. And I'm using my one size powder. Okay, that one size powder does wonders. It smoothed it out, so it doesn't look too bad now. Let's go ahead and try the pink shade right here. Completely brighter in the pan than it is on camera. On camera, the lights are kind of washing it out. So I'm just gonna take that same brush. And it's too light. Okay, that's not gonna work. There's really not a shade in here that would go with my eye look because my eye look's kind of like pinky peach, and I think these shades would be too dark. It's too orange. Let me grab a cheek color and I'll be right back. So I pulled out a cheek palette. I pulled out the one size cheek palette. This one's in Very That. So these are the shades. This one is kind of like a peachy pink, so I'm gonna go with that one. And again, these are very pigmented, so I'm just gonna go in with a light hand. These show up beautifully on the skin. Okay, that looks really pretty. Yeah, these cheek palettes by Starr are amazing. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit on my nose because I like to do that now. And then I'm gonna go in with a little bit of this topper. It has a little bit of shimmer to it, so I'm just going on top of that blush, right here on the tops of the cheeks. Because I want a little bit more pop, I'm gonna go in with the cream part. So that will work. That looks really nice. It flows with the eyeshadow. I'm gonna set everything and tone the cheeks down a little bit with my Starr powder. So the last palette I'm gonna use is this one. It's by Danessa Myricks. This is actually called the Feminist Palette. It has a lot of beautiful shades like for spring and summer. I'm gonna go in with this Tarte lip liner. It's in the shade She's Hard to Get. And I'm just gonna line my lips. That's such a pretty like bright pink shade, you know? I'm gonna use kind of like this synthetic brush for my lips. That's how I'm gonna apply the lip product. I did wanna do something really nice and pink. I'm gonna use that shade right there. Okay, that's pretty, but I want to kind of make it like a peachy pink. I think it's gonna be a little bit too bright, so I want to tone it down. I think I'm gonna go in with this more nude shade here. These are so creamy. That's pretty, but I still feel like it's too bright, you know? Let me take this off and try another couple shades. So what I'm gonna do is kind of line my lips with this one, or just not line them, but you fill in my outer portion of my lips with that one. That one's a little bit like a nude brown. I like that bright pink, but it's just too bright for this eye look. Okay, that works a lot better. I think I'm gonna go in with this shade right here at the end. It looks orange, but it's not. It's this one right here. And I'm gonna put that on the center. Oh yeah, this is nice. It has a little shimmer to it. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Oh my gosh, yeah, that looks really good. Yeah, I'm liking this combination with this eye look so much better than the pink. Okay guys, so what I want to do is I want to go ahead and use the Gemini palette, or the Gemini II palette again. I want to put a shade right here at the bottom, and I think I'm going to go in with this shade right here. Now this shade does have a little bit of shimmer in it, but it's really pretty shimmer. I think it's called Matteo, or maybe it's like Matteo, I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and go in with that shade, and I'm just gonna use a little bit on a brush, small brush, and then I'm just gonna run it on my lower lash line. And it gives a really pretty, nice shimmer to the look. So it doesn't look like really harsh. It looks really pretty. And to finish the look off, I'm gonna go in with my Guerlain Meteorites. These are in golden, and I really love these guys. They make my skin look really bronzy. It has a really nice glow to it. So this is what they look like. I've used these before on my channel. Like I said, I really do love them. I just kind of mix my brush into the little pearls, and then I just kind of run it on the outer portion of my face. I never come onto the inner portion. I just kind of run it on the outer portion. As you can see, it's starting to bronze up a little bit, and then I run it down my neck. I love the finish of this. It's so beautiful. And I go a little bit on my nose. I love these so much, I ended up buying a backup during the sale because they're really expensive, so I definitely wanted to get a discount on them. And since I'm gonna be outside today, I'm gonna spray the Revlon Colorstay Lock Setting Mist. This is a 24-hour setting mist. This is so good, guys. It really holds my makeup in place. I don't get greasy with this. I don't get oily, so all right guys, let's go over these products really quickly. I'm gonna go over the Sephora Pro Palette. I am a little disappointed in these palettes because I feel like there's not enough pigmentation in the light one. I mean, to me, you can't be my skin tone and wear the light one. I honestly thought that some of these bronzers were gonna have like a little bit of pigmentation. I love this lilac shade in here with the glitter. I think it's so beautiful, but again, when I swatch it, it's super light. You can barely tell it's on the back of my hand. So yeah, I am not going to be able to use this palette at all. The shades just don't work for my skin tone. So yeah, I'm definitely going to have to take this back. And for the deeper palette, the bronzer in this palette was just too patchy for me. And if I want to use this as like a one and done type palette for my face, where I have a bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter, I would want the bronzer to actually work on my skin. And I felt like it was really splotchy. It didn't blend as well as I wanted it to. So unfortunately, this one is also gonna go back because I can only use so many shades in here. This highlight right here is way too dark. This shade is way too dark. So I feel like if I can't use at least 70 to 80% of the palette, I really don't need to keep it. For the Gemini II palette, I hope that you guys see this as a spring look. I actually see it as a spring look because it has like a little bit brighter pinks in there. I did put a little bit of that green, which kind of gives it that little smoky eye look. You could use this like green shade that I use on the bottom lash line all over. And to me, that would be a spring look. I mean, think about it. Spring is like about flowers and green plants. So why not wear the green, right? But yeah, I love this palette, guys. The formulation of these shadows were very creamy. They were super blendable, super easy to use. Like I said, I went in with a light hand because I know melt shadows can be really pigmented. It just worked out for me. I love the look. I am going to be enjoying this palette throughout the year. And like I said, this is my favorite palette that Melt has come up with. I do have a couple of the other ones, but this one is like perfection to me. For the Danessa Myricks Beauty Luxe Cream Palette, it says here that it's a matte color for eyes, lips, and cheeks. I don't know that I would wear this on the eyes. I don't know. I just kind of be afraid to wear it on the eyes because it's very emollient. But as far as the cheeks and the lips, I think it would be perfect for that. I love Danessa Myricks' line of makeup. She makes some really good quality products. I'm so glad that I tried this one today. Even though I had to go through like some testing of the lip shades, I still love the product. I think the lip shade that I ended up with looks really nice, especially with this eye look. But yeah, you can create so many different lip looks or cheek looks or even eye looks if you decide to wear this on your eyes. I think you can create create so many looks with this palette. It just yells spring and summer. So yeah, I'm really glad that I tried this today. It looks really nice on the lips, feels very, very comfortable. And yeah, I can't wait to try it for the cheeks. Okay, so for the blush, this isn't the first time that I've tried the One Size blushes, but this is the first time that I've tried this shade, and it's the Very That blush palette. And guys, I love the shades in this palette. I think they're so pretty. They're in between like a peach and a nude shade. They come off very like neutral, but they're really pigmented, really beautiful on the cheeks. I am going to be loving these palettes all year round. These are so good, guys. If you haven't tried at least one of these, definitely pick one up. I don't think you'll be sorry with like any of the shades. Just know that they're pigmented and you have to go in with a light hand. I have another one that I recently purchased, and I can't remember which. I think it's called Peachy something. It's more of the peachy one, and I can't wait to use that one. But this one is more of like your everyday neutral tone blush. Really good palette. So that's it for me trying these new palettes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Take care, and we will see you guys on the next one. Bye.